Hello YouTubers. I was mentioning to Lana that I was working on these barks, documenting them, and she showed interest. So this video is dedicated to Lana for her deep dive, digging so hard to find the accurate truth. I tip my hat to you, Lana. Text amidst the barks. So I laid it out in by the minute. So 4:17:05 is one bark. 4 seconds later at 4:17:09 to 11 for 3 seconds, approximately 3 barks. 4 seconds in between, 33. So the ones in red, that's the in between. And then right here, these are the suspect vehicles in the area at the time. And I'll show you about the 423 SUV in just a couple minutes. SV1 is supposedly the Elantra. And then at the bottom, as you can see, this is minute 17 right here. 418's down below, we'll get to it. So during minute 417, there's 8 timestamps, total barks 19. So that's a timestamp, that's a timestamp, that's a timestamp. And if you add all these up, 1, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 4, that's 19 barks. So let's go to minute 18. You can see the same 2 vehicles are here. And I'll just scroll through. There'll be more action down below, but minute 18 is just a bunch of barks. And you can see, like right here, there's 2 seconds in between them. And so minute 18, there's 20 timestamps, total barks 52. So that's a lot of action. Okay, at 4:18:59, the trunk lid is heard closing. So there's the 2 vehicles again. Okay, here's call 1 begins at 4:19:07, which is 8 seconds after that trunk lid is heard closing. Also, the barks start at 4:17:05, and right now it's 4:19:07. As you can see right there, 4:19:07. The dog barks 78 times in 2 minutes. So this is 2 minutes and 2 seconds when the first call begins, 78 barks. Bethany's November 16th interview in Nevada, she said she actually spoke with Dylan on this call. And before we go on with the call, let me explain these cluster. I made some dashes. So whenever there's a lot of barks, 6, 3, 4, 3, 5, and there's short durations between them, like 3 seconds, 2 seconds, I call that a cluster of barks. A lot more barks. So there's a few of those clusters, and towards the end, I actually have a graph made up. We'll get to it. Call starts at 4:19:07, ends at 4:19:30, which is 23 seconds. And there's 23 barks during the call. And as you can see, here's another cluster right here. So there's 2 clusters during minute 19. 20 timestamps, 59 barks. Now here's another call. The text come a little bit later. At 4:20, we have the 423 SUV that we're going to get to, and SV1, and the 420 car lights. I'm going to explain that shortly. I'm going to show you what that is right now, then we'll come back here. Here's 1320 Linda Lane at 4:19:25. Now watch right there. Watch this car, and the timestamps in the right down below. Okay, look at the timestamp again. 4:19:28. That car is going to the corner of Taylor and King Road to park. In 1 second, you're going to see some lights in this area right here. So watch when that turns to 4:20. That's that car, which is literally 32 seconds later. Now, I just want to mention, it does not take 32 seconds to get to where this car is parking. It actually takes about 20 seconds. So my theory is it might have pulled into the whites, and I'll show you that in a minute. and there might have not been any parking, so it comes here. So here we go. Watch all the lights right in this area here. Now see that spot right there? That's going to disappear when this is at 18 seconds. Okay, it's disappearing. And at 20, it's completely gone. My theory is, here's Linda Lane, 1320 camera right over here. So it comes down, tries to park. These are the whites right here. Here's 1122 King Road. Tries to park here. All the spots are taken. So it comes down, pulls in here, and parks along here someplace. It reflects off of this house. This is the house right here. And then whoever's in this car can just walk here, up Taylor Road to right here, walk up the walkway to 1122 house right here. Here we have another call from DM to Kaylee. Call 2 begins right here. You can see at 4:20:28 to 4:21:09, 41 seconds. 8 barks during that call. That is when, 4:20:28 is 15 seconds before SV1 leaves. It leaves at 4:20:43, and then it's seen on camera leaving at 4:20:47. And so this call, 4:21:09, goes for 22 seconds past after this car leaves. So all of this car experience is right in the middle of this phone call. Here you can see the car. That's where it leaves, right there. Okay, during minute 20, there's 16 timestamps, total barks 27. And that's where the call ends right there. Okay, around 4:21:30 to 40, after call 2 ends, driver of SUV seen on 1330 cam, and that's what we're going to get to in just a minute, is seen leaving at 4:22:41. He himself is seen on camera less than 2 minutes after SV1 leaves. Okay, so SV1 leaves at 4:20:47, and here's 4:22. This is less than 2 minutes later. You see this guy walking. That's time enough for the car that we just saw at 4:20, the light. It only takes a minute to get to the house. Right here, he could have met, or whoever it was, could have met and taken over cleanup duty, because he's at the house at 4:21:20, for example, and this guy's leaving at 4:21:30 to 40. So they could have met for 10 or 20 seconds. Here's another call at 4:21:50, 3 timestamps at 4:21, 5 dog bark. Now let's take a look at the 1330 SUV. Okay, 4:22:37, and we're going to be looking right here. See this white dot right above it? At exactly 4:22:41, you'll see a light, and you'll see him walking, or whoever it is, walking this way. Okay, here goes. In 4 seconds, you'll see him. There he is, the light, and he's walking. Okay, now we're going to go back for a second. Okay, now watch this area right here. Now remember, we saw him on camera at the 41-second mark. So watch at the 39-second mark, you'll see some lights come on. So even before we see him here, he's already hit his remote button. Watch at the 39, here goes. See the lights? Now we're going to keep watching, because he's going to hit the lights again, like 2 or 3 more times. There it is. He's getting in a few seconds. Right here. He'll start at 06, the engine. Okay, we're going to watch him back up, because I'm going to show you the timing on it. When he left, he did not stop. He just went straight through. Very long wheelbase, it looks like. You can see it right here. I think his taillights disappear right about the 47-second mark. And then we'll go to the 1112 camera. Taillight's gone, 47 right there. Okay, here's 47. So he just took the corner up there, so he's going to come down. So here goes. See the lights up on the house? They're reflecting right away. And he'll be in front of 1122 at 4:24:05 in 4 seconds. Then he'll be seen at 11 seconds. Okay, so there he goes. So now we're at minute 22, 4:22. BF calls Ethan. And the only remaining vehicle is the 423 SUV. Now we just watched it leave at 4:24. So it's still here for another 2 minutes. DM texts BF, no one's answering. That's the first text. DM sent the first text. BF made the first call at 4:19:07. So this here's the first text right here. DM to BF at 4:22:08, and then she did another one 3 seconds later, and then 2 more to Kaylee. And in the 22-minute marker, we got 12 timestamps, total barks 36. 423 subs still parked back there because it's not 424 yet. And then BF, I've got her in blue. BF outgoing message to Snapchat, doesn't show the seconds for whatever reason. And then BF texted DM, yeah dude, what the, and then her next one. And then Dylan is freaking out, and that's where they go, you know, the mask, like something he had over his head. Okay, so that's minute 23, 18 timestamps. Total barks 30. Okay, here's minute 4:24. So DM to BF. I'm not kidding, I'm freaked out. Bethany to DM. So am I. Her phone's about to die. That's Dylan. SUV seen on cam exiting at 4:24:11 in front of 1122 at 4:24:05. Here's 4:24:11. When that car's exiting, DM texts BF, my phone is going to die. The reason I'm pointing that out is DM said she saw a vehicle driving by. Well, this is the only one. It can't be the 429 because that one does not drive by. I'll show you that in a little bit. This is the only one that drives by, so that means Dylan would have had to seen it, like maybe from the living room, not from Bethany's room, because she supposedly doesn't get there till 4:25. Bethany to DM, run down here. DM calls Ethan. Okay, here's another cluster right here. DM to Bethany, I'm so scared right now. 16 timestamps, total barks 40. So the dog is barking during that whole episode. Okay, here's minute 4:25. Bethany to DM, yeah, I know, it's better than being alone. Supposedly DM opens door and sprints to BF's room at this point and sees Xana. 4:25, 12 timestamps, total barks 40. Minute 4:28, no vehicles around, except maybe the 420, if that person actually went up to the house or people. 9 timestamps, 16 barks. That's a low count, but now it's going to start going up. The barks are going to start going up again. No vehicles. Here's a cluster of barks right here. DM outgoing call and an outgoing message on Snapchat. Now I know that there's some dog echoes before this point, but it seems like there's more echoes that start at around 4:27:39 till the end, 4:29:58. Another outgoing message. DM calls Kaylee. Now this is 3 minutes and 36 seconds after she says her phone's dying in the text. This is the biggest bark cluster right here, and it splits 4:27 to 4:28. It starts right here, 4:27:42, and it goes to 4:28:07. 7 barks. So a cluster of 40. And then here's another cluster of 21. That's in the 28th minute. And DM calls Xana. DM saw Xana laying on floor 3 minutes earlier. Why not go see her after this call? That just struck me. She sees her, she calls, and still doesn't go up. 4:28, 11 timestamps, 47 barks. BF calls Maddie. Here's the last minute. Another cluster right here of 13 and a cluster of 35. Now the truck is pulling in at this time frame. It pulls in here. I'll show that truck to you shortly. 429, 14 timestamps, total bark 60. BF calls Maddie. BF calls Kaylee. DM texts Kaylee, please answer. Access Snapchat and Instagram. Right here, vehicles seen eastbound on 1320 Linda Lane cam within 12 minutes of 1112 footage ending at 4:30. These 3 vehicles go east. It's possible they left from 1122. That's why I have them here. I don't know that, but it's possible. That one stays on Taylor East. This one goes north to Blake to Sigma Chi. And you can see 434 and 437. That's almost 434, 437. Are they doing that while they're in a car? Possibly. Okay, so here's the graph. Timestamps, barks, clusters of barks. 421, the car left at 4:20:47. That's when the barking pretty much stopped. So that's the slow point right here. 3 timestamps and 5 barks. And there's 2 clusters at minute 19, 1 cluster at 20, cluster at 22, 1 at 4:24, 25, 27. We have 2, 13 and 40. It really gets active 27, 28, and 29, as you can see. So here's the final totals. Timestamps 105, barks 483, clusters 11. And on the barks, there was some echoing. This is the best I could do. To get a 100% accuracy is literally impossible, but this is as accurate as I could do after listening to it probably a dozen times. Almost went deaf listening to it with all those loud barks with earphones on. Okay, now here's the vehicle, 429, that comes in, pulls up to or into 1122. The vehicle movement, that's when it revs up the engine on the throttle. So it keeps moving. For 4 seconds it moves, then it idles, then it moves for 3 seconds, then it idles, then it moves again, idles, move for 2 seconds each, idle, engine idling, still running. And then right here at 4:30:05, 1112 camera ends. So I go to 1330 camera. And here and below is 1330 cam right here. Idles, shuts off engine at 4:30:17, and then the door closes at 4:30:24. Leave a message below. Let me know what you think. Thank you. Have a nice day.